My once-in-a-lifetime traveling experience happened in the blink of an eye, but it gave me a sense of hope, a sense that I could make a difference in my career, someone else's life, or just to spread the love. Have you ever experienced stepping off or onto a plane, landing in a totally different world it seems like? If you have, for whatever reason it was, I'm sure it was exciting for you, and it made you feel like you were stepping in the right direction of helping a cause, yourself, or another human being, or just to see life through a different set of eyes. Maybe you went to study art or another country's culture and ways of living, or maybe you went to experience paradise on leisure vacation with your family. If you have never traveled, this speech will be a motivator for you to set out on your own adventure and journey and to travel the world. One of the first things I would like to talk about is personal growth. The quote I'm about to give supports my argument that traveling or studying abroad is ultimately in your favor. Mary Dwyer and Courtney Peters of Transitions Abroad have both stated that it will change your life. You'll come back a new person. Also, the first large-scale survey to explore the long-term impact of study on a student's personal, profession, and academic life shows that study abroad positively and unequivocally influences the career path, worldview, and self-confidence of students. This picture is just a snapshot of one of the best days in my entire life. That's me in the middle. And my friend to the left chose a shaded spot under the tree in the background because I'm what you call a gringa, which is an inside joke meaning pale skin. That day I was pushed to keep shoveling in 100-degree weather for hours, and I did it. It was so worth the amount of a few months' work to know that my friends in this village were able to drink and bathe in clean, 100% sanitized water. So that's the kind of personal growth you can look forward to. I know that your experience and your journey will look totally different from mine or anyone else's, because that's what makes you, you. Next, let's look at the overall benefits, including leisure, business, international, and economic benefits that studying or traveling abroad can have an influence on. Now let's take a look at the positive impact traveling can have on one of our favorite types of travel, which is leisure. I will also talk about the positive impact it can have on our work life or business. Here are some facts from the poweroftravel.org. An annual vacation can cut a person's risk of heart attack by 50%. The anticipation of vacation travel generates an increase of the positive feelings about one's life as a whole, family, economic situation, and health. 3 out of 4 executives believe that vacations are necessary for them to prevent burnout, or that vacations improve their creativity. Overwork costs employers about $150 billion a year in stress-related absences, and it doesn't stop there. Workers get no more done when they work 50-hour work weeks than when they work 40-hour work weeks. Next, let's take a look at the positive impact traveling has on our economy. Travel is a driver of the U.S. economy, generating $1.8 trillion in economic output, dollars that support jobs for 1 in every 9 Americans. According to the George Washington University, travel expenditures become business receipts, which in turn are used to pay wages and salaries and taxes, the direct benefits of tourism and travel. So in other words, travel fuels America. According to thepoweroftravel.org, international travel is America's largest services export industry. Travelers from abroad inject new money into the U.S. economy by purchasing U.S. goods and services. All of those purchases are considered U.S. exports that ultimately favor America's trade balance. In my opinion, not only is international travel good for America, but is benefiting those countries we travel and buy from as well. Now that we have supported that traveling is all around good and beneficial, let's take a look at something we may all experience when traveling to a new place, and that is culture shock. What is culture shock? The term was introduced in 1958 to describe the anxiety felt when a person moves or travels to a completely new place. You may feel you don't know what is appropriate or inappropriate to do, or you may feel homesick because you've never been in such surroundings. When researching what is culture shock, I found a statement that I believe to be 100% true from experience. Although one can experience real pain from culture shock, it is also an opportunity for redefining one's life objectives. How to overcome culture shock. Be patient. The act of immigrating is a process of adaptation to a new situation. It is going to take time. Maintain contact with your ethnic group. This will give you a feeling of belonging, and you will reduce your feelings of loneliness and alienation. From experience, culture shock comes and goes, quickly, and isn't an actual shock, just your body's natural way of becoming familiar with its new surroundings. Last but not least, let's have a quick overview of the tips when traveling, cautions to take when traveling, and the big main thing that usually allows us or prevents us from traveling, which is expenses. Tips. Plan ahead. You will need shots, vaccines, and of course, money and time. Before you go shopping crazy, consult a dear friend that has traveled before you go buying unnecessary things. You could use your saved money for souvenirs. Travel with friends and family if you are not an experienced traveler. Cautions when traveling. Always be sure to familiarize yourself with where you will be staying and traveling while out of the country. This will prevent your chances of getting lost in a foreign world. Learn your country's ethical standards before traveling. This could also help prevent culture shock and prepare you for what is to come. Also, it can keep you safe and out of harm's way. Never go anywhere alone unless you are a very experienced traveler. Calculating expenses is easy. If you're flying or driving, quote your airline ticket, or for driving, estimate gas costs and check online for toll roads. Keep cash on hand for toll road expenses. If flying, think about food and drink. Most airplanes give free drinks with a purchased airline ticket, but anything beyond that is up to you. Calculate overnight expenses. Where will you stay? In the U.S., we have plenty of online programs that help us find cheap hotels and motels. Use it. After figuring travel expenses, the rest will be a breeze, such as buying your necessary items to take along. Something that always trips up unexperienced travelers is currency exchange. Research your rate. The only way to know you are getting the best exchange rate is to know what the current rate is. Go online and research. I used independenttraveler.com. They have a currency converter to use for your advantage. You will almost get the best interbank exchange rate when buying foreign currency with an ATM or credit card. 2 to 7% better rates this way. Check to see if US dollars are accepted readily as the local currency in certain countries. For example, when traveling to the Bahamas, these currencies are identical from one another. Most important thing you can do is research and plan ahead. In conclusion, it's up to you whether or not you would like to travel. My hope for you is that you get out of your comfort zone and try new things. We have the world at the palm of our hands, so let's explore it. One of the biggest excuses I hear is no money and no time. Prioritize. What do you want out of your one wild and crazy life? Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.